Hey everybody, so welcome to Joy Has Questions. First and foremost, let me say I am sorry that I am looking like Ned Stark from Game of Thrones or like Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats. I just, I didn't even feel the need to get up and go in my living room for like ambiance because I have just had it with this day. The day started off just smelling like a mammary gland of despair, and it turned out to be exactly what I thought it was going to be, especially after coming off of such an epic weekend with the Women's March in DC, Chicago. We showed our ass, over 200,000. It was so beautiful to be in that environment. 200,000 people came out. It was people from all over the world, LA, New York, DC. Like, it was just great to see that type of unity. And then, but oh, then today, Trump just couldn't let us be great. He just had to, I think over the years, him dealing with a micro penis has like really messed with his self esteem. So now he's just in a space like, if you're happy and you have a working uterus and you can take like whatever inches or something more than him, he gets so annoyed. I think he fundamentally just doesn't like it with anyone can do something that he can't do. So he turns around and he is a complete and utter dick. He just signed an Anti Abortion Act back. Now, for anyone who wants to know why this is so significant, this is significant because this is a bill that, or not even a bill, this is a law that has been under executive order since the 80s, I believe, like under Reagan's administration. So Reagan, aka White Satan, put this into effect. What it is completely evasive in regards to a woman's body. Also, side note, if you hear a child in the background crying, sorry, I live in the hood. As well as kind of, it makes sense that I should hear a child as I'm talking about a woman's rights and children. That annoying sound that you hear is actually the reality for a lot of people who weren't in a position to have kids but wound up being forced in certain circumstances to have them. But I digress. So the act basically says, like, it makes it really hard to get abortions, and any funding that goes to developing countries, if it's used to fund abortions, they take all the funding away. Now, since that wonderful crack 80 era, there have been presidents that have repealed it. Like, case in point, if it goes through and becomes a law, the only thing that can happen is executive order. The president, for his terms, can repeal it or, say, no, we're going to rescind it or we're going to enact it. So, Clinton, in between, playing the saxophone, smoking weed, messing up black people's lives, his wife calling us super predators and sleeping with Monica Lewinsky, or rather her sleeping with him, let him tell it, he repealed it. Bush, on top of, running into doors in China and just being a complete and utter dumbass, he enacted it. President Obama repealed it, and oh, Lord, Hogwarts Master of Stupidity just put it back into effect. So what that means is that in developing countries, it will be extremely hard for women to have the tools, not only the education, but to have the actual equipment that they will need to sustain or maintain healthy sexual practices. It also means that we're about to see a sad and sickening rise in home abortions, because if it's not provided, then women become desperate, they feel like they have no other choice, and then we have a whole bunch of coat hanger situations going on. Or if you live, case in point, like in a country like New Delhi, or if you and I'm not judging the culture, but I mean, this is a fact. They have a high mortality rate, especially for young girls, because women are not perceived as being as equal a commodity to men. So it is legal. You can, like, literally, if you start having a whole bunch of girls in your family and you're like a rural farmer or something, you can kill your daughters and not go to jail for it. I watched a documentary where a woman was like, I've had 8 children, I killed 6 of them. And I was like, what the hell? But it's those type of situations that get exacerbated. It's yes, you have to take into consideration, cultural tendencies, or, superstition, or, origin. But at the same time, it does differ. I will say that it differs. But then also at the same time, what was so disgusting to me was, as he's signing this bill, 6 motherfuckers behind him are standing there, and not one of them had a vagina. How can you make a decision that impacts so many people, over half of your population, and you sat there and was like, well, we're putting this back into effect? So now with repealing affordable health care, you can't, get preventative measures, which would be birth control. You can't get that. And then on top of it, now if something does happen, I hope your state is a nice one and it's okay with you getting an abortion. I'm not here to argue Roe versus Wade. I'm not here to go into the moral clause of it. If you must know, I am pro-choice, but I am pro-choice because of this one reason. No matter what your decision, I am not going to judge you. Pro-life, and to me, pro-choice does mean pro-life, in the sense of, like, if you choose to keep the child or the fetus or the embryo, whatever, I support it. And if you choose that, depending on your circumstances or whatever, to not to go through full term with the pregnancy, then I have no space to judge you for that either. I'm not about to start quoting, oh, you knew my inner workings when I was formed. I know what the Bible says. I grew up in a very religious household. But at the end of the day, this is not me, just looking at someone with disgust, because I'm like, you keep having abortions like it is birth control. That's the time I have a problem. When I'm in a Planned Parenthood and you sitting there like, this is my third one, and I'm like, this isn't 1772. You can get birth control, if you're, I don't understand that. But I do understand that sometimes some things happen. Or if you're not, you can be married and still need to have, or feel that needs to occur. But to come off the synergy, the unity, the beauty of those peace marches on Saturday, Trump was just so upset because, like I said on my Instagram channel, I saw, lines at Jules or at Dominic's to get turkeys longer, on Thanksgiving than I did for people who were trying to get into that raggedy ass inauguration. And then alternative facts. What the hell is an alternative fact? Like, can I have an alternative genital? Like, this world is losing its mind, and I know there's a bunch of good people who is watching this who feel like me. We're trying our damnedest to just stay above water and not let the negativity shape us. And sometimes it makes me wonder what to keep from. Like, I don't understand. This is beyond me making jokes about raggedy lace fronts on Love and Hip Hop. This is beyond me talking about waist trainers and fit tees and girls who need self-esteem check. This is on a fundamental level. I have never felt so exposed as a woman. Now, mind you, when a lot of these things were happening and I was a child, like, I wasn't thinking about sex like that. But, and don't get me wrong, I ain't been doing nothing. Like, I'm damn near probably back to virginal status. Like, I have been sitting my happy ass down. But at the end of the day, I just have never felt so at the mercy of someone else. And someone else who doesn't even understand. You will never birth a child. His neck might look like a uterus, but Donald Trump is not a woman. Like, he look like with his weight, he like is a light B cup. But that's not anything that I can change. He needs to take that up with the nutritionist. Maybe all that steak and wine is catching up to you. Hopefully so. Maybe your arteries are clogged. Ooh, that was bad. Don't say that. Don't say that. Just have Jesus handle it. But I really just looked at this situation and it was like, this is going to be a hard ass fight, y'all. A hard fight. The one thing I did notice though is, like, he could not deny in numbers. People that came out to show their disgust towards him were double that of his own inauguration, of his own supporters. And what I found amazing with that was, it was the first time that his Twitter fingers were not as fierce. He was very subdued in his response. He kept screaming or saying we need to be unified and we're more divided than ever. And I'm like, and you got that fucked up ball rolling down the hill. Like, what do you... Don't throw stones and hide your hands. Like, we all can go back and recall every single thing that you have said to try and destroy this country. So I looked at what happened today as kind of like just, whew, let me just get the tightest bra I can find, had the girls up to my neck and just get to work. Cause I'm like, we are in for it. We are in for it. Other than that, and moving on to alt facts, what I was saying before. So his campaign manager, now his chief of staff, Wendy Williams on the white side. That's what I call her. Cause she looks like an upside down P. An upside down P is actually a lowercase b. She looks popped is the point. But she sat there and was like alternating facts that it was actually very full. There is no such thing as alternating facts. Do not let this administration try and undermine the media. Yes, you have to do research and double check things, but the white tarmac doesn't lie, Betty Sue. Like, no one was there. The National Mall stretches back for miles. He barely had people filling up the second tier, the second foundation line. I know what the hell I saw. We ain't Stevie Wonder in here. Like, Helen Keller could have realized that somebody was trying to lie. So for her to say that, it spawned the beauty that I love of Black Twitter. I have been going in all week, like, alternating facts. Yandy and Mendices are married. Alternating facts. Stevie J actually respects women. Alternating facts. Mariah Carey actually did sing and perform at this NYE. Like, I've just been having alternating facts. Kim Kardashian's ass is real. Kanye West believes that George Bush cares about black people. Like, I've been having a field day with this. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Like, alternating facts. Donald Trump is an amazing fucking president. That's the one alternating fact I think everyone can agree on. Because if he is a good president, then Hitler should have got a Nobel Peace Prize. That is all I have to say tonight. As you can see, I'm in my room. Another great thing will be happening. Let me tell you this. I'm so proud to say I will be getting my camera within the week. So, it looks like I'll be brushing up on all my contour skills because these pixels are about to get real and you all are really about to be able to dive in and see what I look like. Also, I'm going to be doing intro music. So, I'm just going to come through with a more polished look. But for everyone who's been rocking with me, also shout out to For the Love of Juice. Like, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you opening your platform to me. From everyone who has expressed to me how you found me through her, I completely appreciate you all as well, and I hope I can continue to deliver on content that you all find funny, but more so than funny, content that you all find endearing and content that makes everyone think, so we can be a better community and a better nation. So holla front, I'm about to take this off so I can get to this leave out finally because I've been working my ass off. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.